Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Iron Man retro carded wave, Whiplash. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now, you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today, we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Iron Man retro carded wave. As in front of us today, we have a character that actually makes sense for this lineup. And nope, that isn't my British sarcasm. I'm being genuine, as it's Whiplash, aka Blacklash. Not only was he a key villain of the animated show that this toy line is a tribute to, he was also in the original Wave 1 Toy Biz lineup in the 90s. So this is a great choice for the retro card. Green ponytail and all. The only difference is they have now called him Whiplash, and on the show and on the Toy Biz packaging, he was called Blacklash. But it is essentially the same character. In the comics during the 90s, Whiplash had changed his name to Blacklash, so the show and the original toy line was just following suit. But it is exactly the same character, and I'm always going to call him Whiplash anyway, so I don't mind the name change here. But yeah, that is the only subtle difference, but it is the same character. It's actually a solid representation of the character in plastic from the animated show and in the comics as well, as they were pretty true to the character design, and he looks great on the retro card. What can we say? So let's have a look at this great retro card. Let's spin it around under the back. You get that sort of tribute stencil that is a throwback to what was on the original Toy Biz packaging, and you get the smallest write-up ever that says Whiplash puts his skills as a weapons developer to criminal use, taking his cybernetic whips to battle against Iron Man. It is another brand new character to add to the Marvel Legends line, which I always appreciate. So let's get him open. Here we have Whiplash out of the packaging with his few accessories on the table, including his green ponytail, which comes separately as it wouldn't have fit in the box otherwise. So very simply done. There's a hole in his head and it is just a peg that you just put in, and then it's an articulated green ponytail, which looks ridiculous, but for some reason he just makes it work. He comes with fisted hands and then gripping hands so he can hold his trademark weapon, of course, which is a whip. This is very much an Iron Man villain that we have yet to get in the Marvel Legends line, and like I said at the start, it's pretty accurate to not only the animated show but also the comics as well. Like, this can be a comic or an animated version of Whiplash. There's no cell shading or anything like that, so you can put this wherever you desire in your display. Remember, it's your display, you create your own rules. So let me get the tape measure out, and you can see to the top of his ponytail, he's probably bang on 7 inches, but that is articulated so you can twist and manipulate that. He is completely pinless as well, by the way. So yeah, a great looking figure already. Let's take a closer look. Remember that Whiplash is Blacklash, Blacklash is Whiplash. It just depends on what comic book issue you read. Even still, the purple cowl here is very nice, just revealing the jaw, matches what you get on the collar, and you got the whited out eyes with some nice shadowing around the eyes, make it a little bit more menacing. You've also got a nice wash on the actual green ponytail as well to bring out some of the sculpted detail. Remember, that articulates so you can move it, spin it all the way around if you want, but then it just looks like he comes from Whoville, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. The head itself is on a disc and hinge, so we can bury the chin, no problem at all. You can also look up because there's no hindrance with the articulation on the ponytail. So great, decent range up top. I also like this combination up top of the collar and cape, as they are separate pieces plugged into this double-holed Grim Reaper body, which unfortunately means we don't get the butterfly joint, but it does mean this all sits nicely up top. So this gold clasp, it actually attaches both sides just via a peg, but you can remove that and then remove the cape if you wanted to, which allows you to remove the satchel, as he doesn't always wear the satchel in the comic. So again, it just depends on your mind's eye, your preference of course, but you can remove the satchel. Having it on or off, they're both accurate. They have painted the gold sort of buckles on the satchel, which is a nice touch. It's a shame that the gold on this clasp doesn't match there, but that's molded, that's painted, that's why that's different. I do like the contrast in the purples between the cape and the collar, and then obviously the collar, the cowl, the satchel, the gloves and the boots are all the same purple on this black jumpsuit all the way down. And because it's black the whole way down, it sort of cleverly hides all the articulation, but it is what you would expect. So the shoulders will go up to 90, no hindrance there with the actual cape. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, but thick gloves, hinge in the wrist, swivel at the waist, also ab crunch forward, ab crunch back. The cape itself is a pretty sturdy plastic, but it's not rock hard. It will sort of move out the way if you need it to, no problems there. Moving down to the legs, really high up, thigh swivel, you got the double jointed pinless knees, and then a decent swivel hidden within the design of the boots, ankle pivot rocker. So standard Marvel Legends articulation. You're going to be able to get this guy doing exactly what you want him to do on a shelf, and that's whipping people. So here we have Whiplash holding his trademark whip. I've switched out to the gripping hand so he can hold that. He doesn't grip it as tight as I would like, but he does hold it, no problems at all. My issue is I really wish this was bendy wire. Now don't get me wrong, it looks great. It's done in a nice sort of translucent yellow so the light hits it just right, and it is like manipulable. It will sort of bend and move how you want it, but it's not going to hold the pose. Like as soon as I let that go, it's going to revert back to its original position. So if that was bendy wire, it really would have allowed you to get some more dynamic, creative, fun poses, but you're a little bit limiting with what we've got there. But for what it is, translucent yellow, nice sort of texture to it, it does still look great on the shelf, and you can still get him posed up looking good with his whip, but you sort of need it. His name's Whiplash, for God's sake. You need him to have his whip on the shelf, that electromagnetic whip that he can use to attack Iron Man, as he is mainly an Iron Man villain. But remember, he also has a set of fisted hands as well out the box if you want to get him into some fisticuffs. And even though he doesn't have the butterfly joints, again, I do think that would have enhanced it a little bit more. You can still get him to hold his whip with both hands and create a really nice sort of pose like he's about to attack. So again, I just really think aesthetically this looks great. Again, completely pinless, and it's accurate to the source material, and at the end of the day, that's what we want on our shelf. So I think this is solid. Moving into comparisons, let's start off with some 90s nostalgic goodness with, of course, Iron Man and War Machine, who of course were both a big part of that animated show, and they look so good here next to this animated accurate version of Whiplash. This is what it's all about. This is a character that absolutely made sense for this retro card wave. A couple of other characters we already have in the Marvel Legends line that look pretty bang on to how they appeared in the Iron Man cartoon is Grey Gargoyle and Whirlwind, who were both also on the original Toy Biz Iron Man card back in the day as well. So you now straight away have a pretty accurate looking Iron Man Rose Gallery for the animated show or even the comics. Both a fair game. You could also add Blizzard to that mix as well, although in the animated show he did look a tiny bit different, but it's still close enough. These are definitely going to be displayed together on my shelf. Here we have Whiplash compared to a selection of Marvel Legend Iron Man figures you already have in the collection, just so you can see how he looks lined up with them. Whiplash or Blacklash has definitely came up against Spider-Man before, so there we have the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, and they look great together. And then we have Deadpool just for good measure. Just for a few different scale comparisons, some figures I had on the table, we have Venom and Hulk. And don't forget, go and check out my Superior Spider-Man review on the channel right now from the Marvel Legends 85th anniversary summer program. This is top 10 potential all day long. Solid figure. Go and check it out. Here we have him compared to She-Hulk, who was also a part of this Iron Man retro card wave. Again, review on the channel. Go and check it out. And last, but of course never least, here we have some of the Who crew with Frogman, Tigra, and Jocasta's head, as she's still very much broken. And last, but never least, Captain Britain and Hal, Fire, Hank. So, final thoughts on this Iron Man retro carded wave, Whiplash. Or do you call him Blacklash? Either or are acceptable, but it is a character that makes complete sense for this retro card wave. Was he in the Iron Man animated series? Check. Was he in the original Toy Biz line in the 90s? Check. Is he accurate to the source material? Check. Honestly, a great addition to the Marvel Legends lineup. A new character for the display, by the way, as we've never had a Whiplash, and he does look accurate to how he appeared in the comics as well. So it does give you some displaying options. But I'm curious, do you call him Whiplash or do you call him Blacklash. It all depends on what era of the comics you're reading, or if you just know him from the animated show, I suppose. Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious about that one. But if you like Marvel Legends, then there's no need to be curious. You are in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, 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 hit that subscribe button, hit all of the notification bell, don't miss out on the video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter or X at Dan Who Reviews, and I will of course see you on the next one.